I recently picked up the new GoPro Hero 9 for my mountain bike videos, and I'm convinced that with the front-facing screen, this is probably one of the best vlogging video cameras that you can buy, especially if you get the audio right. As you may know, having good audio is just as important as having good video. So in this video, we're going to test a few different microphone combinations for the GoPro Hero 9, and I got inspired to make this video because I shot a vlog today when I was riding my bike, and the wind noise was so bad I couldn't use the video. Even though I have this little windscreen on the front microphone, I guess it picked it up on the side microphone. By the way, having this on my chest and talking with the wind reduction turned off, I try to never use auto or turn that on. If I have it on my chest, having this little furry screen on the front makes the audio sound really good, but I was holding this out in front of me and it just didn't sound good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test outside two different scenarios. One is standing still with little to no wind, and then I'm going to get on my bicycle and get a lot of wind noise on the microphones, and we're going to test them to see how they do. So the first scenario that I'll do when I'm standing still is just use the built-in microphone of the Hero 9. Then we're going to put on the media mod. So with the Hero 9, I don't think that dongle, which was horrible, I hated that thing, I don't think that'll work with this. So you've got to pick up the media mod if you want to use an external microphone. Now, this has a microphone built in. They call it a shotgun mic. I don't think it's really a shotgun mic, but it also has this little cover. And so it's got a windscreen, and I will most likely use the windscreen when I go outside and test this, especially when I'm on the bicycle. So we'll test this. And then we're also going to test this little guy, which is one of my favorite microphones. This is the Untitled, I think that's how you say it. I jumped on their YouTube channel to see how they pronounce it, and I listened to it like 5 times, but I think that's the way you say it. But I'm going to refer to this as the 001. So this is the Untitled ETM001. And by the way, the 003 is a shotgun mic. It's more just right in front of you. This is an omnidirectional mic. This will pick up a lot of noise around you, but it's very clear. Now, because the microphone input on the media mod is on the back, you really have to have this little elbow adapter. And so you plug this into the elbow adapter, and then we'll plug it onto the media mod, and that'll put it out to the side. Now, also when I use this, I will put on this little furry screen. Now, this is a very clear but bright microphone, and if you have wind noise, it's just not gonna sound good. So we'll pop that on when we do the test, both standing still and also on the bicycle. Also, we're gonna test the Rode Smartlav Plus. Now, I'll just say it right now. If you can use a Lav Mic, use it. It is just the best sound if it's you talking. Now, if you've got someone next to you or you're trying to pick up other sounds, then yeah, the Lav Mic is probably not the best option. But if it's just you talking, try to use a Lav Mic whenever you can. Now, the Rode Smartlav Plus is actually a microphone that's made for smartphones because it's a TRRS microphone. So we have to use an adapter. And I'm using another one. I have 2 of these because I like these so much. I'm recording right now with the Smartlav Plus plugged into the Rode Wireless Go, which this is a great wireless system, one that I would recommend. But you got to have this adapter because the GoPro is going to be a TRS input. You got to really think about that when I say it, because this is a TRRS microphone. You've got to get this little adapter. And so I really like the microphone. The cable's not too long. If you're recording in a vlog setup, you cannot have a cable that's like 15 feet long. You're only going to have the camera out here. The last option that we'll be testing today is going to be the Rode Video Micro. This is a really good microphone. It's really clear. It's good quality. I'm not going to use this on the bicycle because I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put this in my jersey or camelback when I'm going out for a ride. But for just walking around and vlogging, this is a good option. Now, I've got this little Ulanzi adapter because the GoPro picks up such a wide field of view. And by the way, when I vlog with the GoPro, I keep it in the wide setting because if I put it on linear, it's just cropped in a little bit too much. The wide, when you're holding it out in front of you, is the best field of view in my opinion. So this little Ulanzi adapter raises the microphone above the media mod so that you don't get the little furry screen in the video. I'll put in the description below an Amazon link to this thing. It's very cheap. But it's a good option to get this off the media mod. So with that, let's head outside and test these microphones. All right, the first recording here is the built-in microphone of the Hero 9. I do have that little furry screen on top. Other than that, we're just using the built-in microphone. I have the wind noise reduction turned off. I try to avoid using that feature at all possible. When I get on the bike a little bit with a lot of wind noise, I'll do a little test with it on or off, but I try to keep it off. Now we're going to switch over to the media mod, and we're going to see just what the media mod sounds like, and then we'll start putting some microphones on and see how that changes. Now we're using the media mod, so we've gone from the built-in microphone of the GoPro Hero 9 to the media mod. I do have the little windscreen on, and obviously I have the front mic turned on. It's really cool that you can switch mics, and I have that as one of my shortcuts actually, so I can switch between the rear microphone and the front microphone of the media mod. Now we're going to install the ETM001. I have to go into the media mod, make sure I have the right setting. I'm not going to really show how to do that in this video, but you do have to change from like a powered mic to a standard mic or standard mic plus. This microphone, by the way, is so bright, you do not want to use standard mic plus. That boosts the microphone. If you do that, your audio levels are going to be too high. All right, let's try this one out now. Now I've got the ETM001, and I love this microphone. This is probably my best vlogging setup for riding on the bicycle, which you'll see later. It really blocks out the wind noise when I'm on the bicycle. The disadvantage to this microphone is the fact that it just picks up everything around you. So if you have car noise around you or people talking around you, it's not the best microphone. Now if you're doing, talking with someone else, so maybe you have someone standing next to you and you can't have a Lav mic for that scenario, the ETM001 is really good. But again, I mean, like if I scrape my foot on the ground, it's just going to pick up everything. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the Lav mic. It's my favorite setup for really getting the best sound, like I said earlier, and you'll see what I mean. Just the tone and everything is really good, really clear. Now I've got the Lav mic on, the Rode Smartlav Plus, and this is by far my favorite setup for getting the best audio quality if it's just me talking. It really does a good job of blocking out noise. There's car noise around me. My son's riding his bike, jumping his ramp right now over there. And so there's a lot of noise that this mic does a really good job of blocking, better than the ETM001, and probably better than using the built-in mic or the media mod. So again, this is probably my favorite option. It's not the most convenient if you don't want a wire connected to you. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the Rode microphone, and like I said earlier, I've got this adapter on so you don't see the little furry thing in the screen. But now this is another good option if you don't need total portability, because this thing compared to this thing is a big difference as far as portability. But let's give it a shot. Okay, so now I've got the Rode Video Micro, and you can't see it on the screen. I can look at my little Hero 9 screen on the front. I love this thing. And so this is a really good option for vlogging. It's got really good sound. I've noticed in the past it does bring the sound down a little bit, so you may have to bump it up when you're doing your editing, but this is another good option. I'm totally free to move around. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go out on the bike, and this is the only mic, the Video Micro, that I'm not going to use because I would never carry that with me on a bike ride. We're going to test the other microphones and see how they do with a lot of wind noise. Let's try it out. So this is the media mod by itself. I've got the windscreen on, and of course I've got the front microphone turned on. So this is a pretty nice option if it would work, because there's no wires connected to me, nothing sticking out of the media mod. So it's pretty convenient. Obviously the media mod's a little bigger than the GoPro by itself, but like I said, if this would work, I think this would be a good option. So that's the media mod with the windscreen. All right, now I've got the ETM001. I've got the wind actually in my face more right now, so there's more wind. And like I said earlier, this is an omnidirectional microphone, so it's going to pick up a lot of car noise if there were some. Right now there's not, but this is the microphone that I like to use when I can, just because it's so clear. So again, this is the ETM001 plugged into the GoPro Hero 9 media mod. And like I said a minute ago, I've never really tested all these options, so as I edit this video, I'll be finding out which one is the best. So ETM001, the next one we'll try is the Lav mic, and it's not an option that I would do that often just because it's not convenient sometimes on a bicycle to have a wire connected to the media mod, but it is an option, and especially if I'm just walking around vlogging, it's the one that I would try to use when I can. All right, so now I've got the Lav mic on, the Rode Smartlav Plus. Pretty good amount of wind noise here. Of course, having a little windscreen on top of the microphone is really helpful, and I would always recommend using a windscreen. Even the slightest bit of wind across a microphone can make the audio sound really bad. So Now what we're going to do for the last wind test is switch over to the built-in microphone of the Hero 9. All right, this is the built-in microphone. I'm going kind of slow now. I have wind reduction turned off. I'm going to turn it back on because I know by experience when I pick up the pace a little bit, it's going to sound really bad as I get more wind. So I'm going to pick it up a little bit, let the wind really hit the microphones, and you'll see that the wind it kind of goes in and out, but as I move the camera around and the wind comes across one of those microphones, it can get pretty bad when there's a lot of wind. So again, this is the built-in microphone, wind reduction turn off. Okay, so what I've done is I've turned the wind reduction to auto. So I'll let the camera decide. The bad part about that is when it switches between the two, it can sound really funky. So I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit and get a lot of wind on this camera, move it around, let the wind hit different points of the camera, and just talking. Again, built-in microphone of the GoPro Hero 9. I still have the little furry screen on, but I know again from experience that even with that on, when it hits the other microphone, it can sound really bad. So wind reduction turned to auto, and we'll see if this is better than leaving it off. I'll mention one thing here, and that is using the Hero 9 by itself is nice because you can keep it waterproof. The media mod is not waterproof, and so having the Hero 9 with the door on and everything makes it completely waterproof. So that's my mic test of the GoPro Hero 9. I'll have to say I was a little disappointed with the media mod when I went back and listened to it. I felt by itself it sounded a little shallow. I think the built-in microphone actually sounded better, but let me know what you think. Also, let me know which microphone you felt sounded best overall. And finally, if there are any other microphones that you've used with the Hero 9, let me know what you think of those. Thanks for watching.